So, Martin, as we've talked with you previously, one of the first things that especially new PhD students or PhD candidates um, should make their minds about is the topic of their dissertation. This is something that they address in the concept as well as one of the first points. And I know that in some cases, PhD students are assigned to a PhD program, and the topic or the direction in which they should research is already predetermined to them. It is given to them. But we have other cases, especially the students who are part of our program, who are in such an independent form of study, who have the responsibility themselves to come up with a topic. And I'm guessing this is a process which you can't just decide in an instant, in a heartbeat, something that requires some consideration. So what are exactly the factors students should consider in determining their research topic?
You're right. Often the thematic or the title is given from the professors because they have their own research and want students to assist this. But in most cases, it is really, and it is, I think, very interesting for the students to choose a topic they are interested in. But you're right. There are, I think, three main points for the students to find the correct title for the dissertation. First, it must be feasible. You must be really able to do the research in this time and so on. The second is it must be specific, and the third is significant. The significance for the dissertation must be given. But let's start with the feasibility of a PhD research concept. We are limited in our resources, we are limited in time, but we are limited not only in time, but in the sources we are able to address. Often companies will not share their knowledges with competitors, or some regularities do not allow to do research. We spoke about restrictions ethically or from legal point of view. So we are not always allowed to do what we want. And then to be the feasibility is it for me possible to do this research in this planned time? So I think this and is the topic really can be answered with all the resources I have. I thought the skills I need are not in my hand, so or I am not able to really to answer these questions because it's not corresponding with my niveau. So the feasibility of the project is the first really good point we have to discuss.
Yeah, if I can add to this one example, I remember one of our PhD students was or wanted or had the intention to interview experts from companies that are called hidden champions. Just to clarify, hidden champions are companies, usually they keep a very low profile, not like Microsoft, Google, or something that you can find them on the internet. They like to stay very anonymous, but at the same time, they're very influential around the whole world. And so the idea was great. Oh, let's have these experts from these companies. This will strengthen my research. But how do you find these experts? These companies, especially the high-ranking individuals, the executives, they don't want to be in the spotlight. And so this is just an example of the accessibility of data as one of such concerns about the feasibility that students should ask themselves beforehand.
Yeah, you're right. If you really identify these specialists, they do not want to share their knowledges for free, for example, or to to develop their competitors, as we spoke. So this is really what students should think about when they are searching for a title. As a first, feasibility. Second is I think it is thematic specific enough for a dissertation. Some students are so enthusiastic and they want, for example, to increase women rights or so. And this is not always possible to be done in one
Study.
presentation. Or, for example, you say, I'm very interested in euthanasia, in this topic, euthanasia, because there's something different between Switzerland and Germany. Your parents are ill and you want to help them to go away, to pass away in freedom. And then you see this is so a huge thematic. So you have to specify it and to say euthanasia from the legal point of view in German and Switzerland concerning to elderly people or so, so to reduce it and to specify it. So uh, I think in our templates we have some good examples how to do a title or how to find the title, which is fulfilling all these requirements and feasibility to be specific, and it should be really an interesting thematic. So there must be some significance from this. So we will not answer questions; they are answered. We search for this gap as we spoke before. So it is really an interesting, and you should invest time to clarify the degrees.
Yeah, it's not only about the title, or it's about the topic in general too, because I believe everyone has something that they're interested in and that you're curious about. But exactly, we're talking about these three elements that make it realistic for you to accomplish what you're already interested in. Just the same way people have dreams about many things, but the moment you start to plan it, then it suddenly becomes clear if it's going to stay as a dream or you're going to take action and it turns into a project, or in this case, a dissertation project. But yes, the specificity, what you mentioned, is not only um, because it can be considered also as a feasibility point. If it's not specific, it's not feasible because you won't be able to do it. But it's also connected with this significance. Usually, if it's specific, means that it's niche. It's very there is a gap that you've identified, and this makes it significant. I think another point in choosing a topic, sadly, is that students don't have complete freedom because there are some administrative things they should abide to, such as the programs and the professional fields of universities. Um, Maybe even starting from choosing a university for the topic.
Yeah, it's really so. If you are free in this, then you should find a university which is a relevant university in this field, where they have accredited programs or study programs. And if luck is great, you will find a professor which is well known in this field of research and is prepared to accept you as a student. Often on universities, it's really a problem. You say I am allowed to do my PhD research, but I must find my professor. So I have to ask him or her, are you prepared to be my supervisor? And good professors often have so many students that they cannot accept you. Then if you do a good research and he or she is interested in, you have the possibility to find this supervisor, or you go to possibilities like our possibilities, so that you can really choose your own topic, your own title. By we see that university often helps you with the title, so to be correct, to specify really what you do in this broad thematic. So it's really a good idea to find accreditation, a field, a professor, which really correspond with these things you want to do your research.
Yeah, as you mentioned, sometimes even the university helps you um, to specify the topic and also the title, because the title reflects the topic. And this is something that shouldn't concern students, that they feel maybe they're being restricted, or that their originality is taken away, but it is just so that um, they are aligned with the programs, but also um, by doing this, the universities sometimes, in a way, offer advice to the student how to make it more specific and how to encompass a broader perspective, or look at this topic from a different perspective. So I would say students should take this as a form of guidance and not restriction.
There is, therefore, as we understand the PhD research concept, is the possibility not only to show what you want, but to give the professors the possibility to say what they want. And then you can choose the right decision.
Yeah, sometimes it's a matter of finding middle ground.
But most of the professors are interested in your arguments. In my time, when I did my dissertation, often a professor said, "This is your research. This is the title. Accept or not. It doesn't matter. You cannot follow them." But now I think the modern forms of professors, they accept arguments of the students. They think, "Oh, I am interested in this topic, so it is good the student would have this point." And I know from my experience that there is a lot done in this way, but this is a field in this thematic which is really interesting, and the student will I think, follow the advices from the supervisors.
Well, that's really optimistic what you say, that the mindset of professors over time perhaps has changed, that they are now more willing to discuss and to have this exchange of arguments and ideas with the
I think that the reputation of the professor a little bit depends from quality of dissertations, and the quality is a good question for professors too. And I saw in the last years that they have to publish themselves more and to have good PhD students. And the better you are prepared in your PhD proposal, uh, um, you better you easily will find a professor. And it is, you must say, a student took time from the professors. Why the professor should invest time when the student will not follow his advice, and this is given in a friendly way, yes, then I think it is really a dialogue needed. But I come a little bit far away from your question, but it is a little bit, yes, agreement.
an agreement.